Sterling Properties of Santa Barbara proudly presents Ken Boxer Live. From the American Riviera in Santa Barbara, California, it's Ken Boxer Live with your host, Ken Boxer, and co-host, two-time Olympian Tai Babilonia. Please welcome Ken and Tai.
And welcome to the show. I'm Ken Boxer. Let me first introduce my co-host, as I always do, the two-time Olympian, as was mentioned in the intro. She's also five-time national champion as well as world champion, a world champion, Tai Babilonia.
World champion.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
This is, of course, in figure skating, a world
Of course,
champion.
in figure skating.
Okay.
Yeah.
Look at what we have here, a piece of
I
art.
know. Well, I
by-
picked this up.
Let me show this to you. This we got from Tony Dow, you know, from Leave It to Beaver
Of
fame.
course.
I asked him to do something like this. He was on the show not too long ago.
Right,
And,
I remember.
You know, there's like KBL, Ken Boxer Live,
Yeah.
our call letters on the
Well,
side.
it looks like the studio.
Yes.
It
and
looks like a futuristic version of the studio.
you can actually
it's
look
so cool.
inside this television. You can see us, which is really cool.
That's a great. That's
It's
a
great piece. A
yes.
great addition to our show.
That's a
Thank
one of a
you,
kind.
Tony.
Thank you, Tony.
Thank you.
Tony Dow.
Tell
Yes.
our audience, who do we have on the show?
It's another surreal moment. This show, Room 222, was one of my favorite shows growing up as a kid in the 1970s. Liz McIntyre, the beautiful Liz McIntyre, so classy, such a great character. Denise Nicholas, who played Liz, is with us tonight. But
What?
there's a clincher. Denise, and 2 decades later, Denise ended up playing my mom, Cleo Babilonia, in the NBC TV Movie of the Week, On Thin Ice. So this is so bizarre and just so like.
This is going to be an exciting show.
It's
Let's
going to be
go.
so
Let's get
exciting.
with
So
it.
don't go away. Denise Nicholas is with us.
Yes.
Yay!
Ken Boxer Live is brought to you in part by the Wildcat Lounge, repeatedly voted Santa Barbara's best dance club. The Eagle Inn, a family-owned hotel near the beach in Santa Barbara. And by American Riviera Bank, smart banking for smart people. Now back to Ken Boxer Live.
And we are back. Joining us this evening is the multi-talented actress and author, Denise Nicholas. Now, most of you will remember Denise from her role as the high school guidance counselor, Liz McIntyre, from the iconic television series Room 222. And she was also a series regular on the hit show In the Heat of the Night. What you may not know is that a few years ago, Denise wrote a novel that received critical acclaim entitled Freshwater Road. So let's now welcome the beautiful, the talented, and very gracious Denise Nicholas. Thank you. To have you. Oh, it's wonderful to have you. The first time you met was back when you were playing the role of...
Yeah.
Back in
Yeah.
1990, and I haven't
Was it
seen you
90?
since.
1990. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I know.
years ago.
That's why I'm so excited. I haven't
Yeah.
seen her since
Since
the
then.
filming of the movie.
Well, we'll talk about that movie in just a
Yeah.
bit, but what we want to do is find out initially, how did you get into acting? From at what point did you know that this was going to be something that would be a career for you?
I didn't really know it. I kind of fell into it. I had some good luck, and so I then decided to pursue it to see how far I could take it. But it wasn't like I grew up dreaming of being an actress. I wanted to be a writer. That was
Which
what
you later became.
Eventually, I
Right.
got to it.
It
Took a long time. long time.
But you were in the Midwest, yes? You
Yes,
lived
I'm
in
from
the Midwest?
Michigan.
Okay.
And I went south during the Civil Rights Movement, and that's when I started acting, really. I went as a volunteer for Freedom Summer in 1964, but I went as a script reader because I was good in English. So I was going to be the theater's script reader, write critiques, make some decisions about what plays would be done by this small theater that I was a part of. That was a part of the Civil Rights Movement.
Well, just a few days ago, they celebrated the 50th anniversary of the Selma Walk.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
right.
I didn't go to Selma. I was in Mississippi at that time, though, in Louisiana.
Okay, and
That's great.
you'll tie that into the book, which we'll talk about in
Yes.
just a
Yes.
little bit.
So I have a question. Did you
Yes.
start out in theater?
Yes.
So you started out in theater. So what was your first like TV role? Because you did a lot of TV, Denise.
You know, the first TV role that I did was in the 60s in New York on the original NYPD series.
Really?
It was on ABC. Robert
know
Hooks
that.
was the star.
Oh, Kevin's dad.
Yes.
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 Oh, Kevin Hooks.
Kevin Hooks.
Who
Robert
I had a
Hooks.
crush on.
Okay.
Well,
There you go. Sounder.
okay, already getting
Did you just have I had a hot flash too? You know, we're at that age. No, so I had no idea. NYPD.
It was called NYPD. I'm trying to think of the other people who were on it. I played Robert's wife. I did about 5 episodes, and I was working in a theater at that time in
Okay.
New York, so that was kind of like
That's where
extra
you got,
work.
But where did you
Right.
get your groundwork in acting?
That was with the Free Southern Theater in Mississippi and Louisiana. I was an apprentice. As it turns out, a person who was supposed to come to volunteer to be with our little group as an actor didn't show up. So they said, well, you're it. And I said, but I don't know anything about acting. And they said, but you will by the time this is over. So it was like a baptism in fire. I mean, it
Right,
literally
You're
it
right,
was, because
right.
it was Mississippi.
Or did someone encourage you back then that's telling you, yes, you've got the talent?
No,
No.
no. they
Really?
didn't.
Nothing from your parents.
They were so angry at me for leaving school. They didn't
Oh,
speak to me.
no.
They didn't speak to me for 5 years. It was
Actor
like,
because she wanted to be an actor.
yeah, I mean, please.
Oh.
It was unheard of.
So, well, I want to know, what did your parents think once you?
Well, it was a double thing, because not only was I leaving the University of Michigan to go to go join a theater, I was leaving the University of Michigan to go join a theater in Mississippi.
Oh
so
my
it was
God.
like,
Hollywood or New
are
York, right?
you
Wow.
crazy? Are you crazy? Do you want to die? What are you doing to us?
Okay, so how did
That's so funny.
How did you get the Room 222 gig?
I auditioned in New York. I was with a different theater by that time, the Negro Ensemble Company. So I went to, I went to 20th Century Fox in New York, and then I went to ABC in New York, and I did 2 auditions there. Then they flew me to Los Angeles to do the screen test. And then I went back to New York, and they flew me back to LA to do a personality test, which is, I think the point of the personality test was to see if you could be a salesperson for the show, to see if you could
Oh,
really
that's interesting.
stand up in front of people and talk and just run
Right.
your mouth and be silly and endear yourself to people in the industry and in all the markets all around the country. So we did. We did huge promotional tours, City a Day tours, Karen Valentine and
Right.
all of us.
But when you auditioned, though, did you think you had the part?
No. I
that's a good question.
had, wait a minute, I had the inner security of a gnat. Everything to me has to be a struggle. I have to work. And it's like, so
Suffer for your art.
I had
We
to
have
suffer.
actually
Yes.
a clip
Great.
of your work on
Okay.
Room 220, which I love that show. But I have to tell you,
you.
Ty, this woman is absolutely gorgeous. Look at her. It's just
Stunning.
so beautiful.
Flawless.
And you'll
And she
see.
played my mom.
That's
I
right.
wouldn't have it any other way.
Well, let's.
I was very young when I had you.
Can you give us a lead into what we're about to see?
This is a Room 222 episode that has Richie, because I just looked at it in your office. He is trying to stay in the school even though he does not live in the district.
All right.
So that's
Okay, let's watch
That's
Denise
something.
Nicholas. All right.
Richie, you've been doing so great lately. The top 10% of your class. I sent a letter home to your folks to let them know how happy we were about it, and it came back. Tell me the truth, Richie. You do live in the school district, don't you?
Don't tell me there's never been a kid in this school from out of the district.
Yes, but there were valid reasons.
What were they?
Like someone wanting to take a course here that he couldn't get at his own school.
Well, that doesn't apply. Everything on this boy's schedule he could get at Tyler High. Look for yourself.
What would you say if I told you that Richie mentioned to me the other day he wanted to change his program?
I would say he had incredible timing. Well, there are two subjects. Basic calculus.
I'll take it. Oh, you can't. Well, you haven't had trigonometry yet.
What's the other one?
Hebrew.
It's a very interesting subject, Richie.
Yeah. Sure, Mr. Dixon. Well, I've always wanted to learn Hebrew.
Of course you have.
Can I go to my next class now?
You better. Richard. Good luck.
Shalom, Mr. Kaufman.
Everybody. Hi.
I love that show. So Denise, how many, from what year to what year? What was the last year of Room 222?
We were on from 69 to 74.
Okay.
So winter of 74, 75.
And I was asking, was it a fun set?
It was a great set. I mean, we
set.
really, I know all actors say this after a long time on a series, we were like family, and then
Right.
and then it's over and everybody goes their own way, but we
Yeah.
really did have a good time.
What a great cast.
Yeah,
Michael Constantine,
yes.
great actor.
Yeah.
Lloyd
Yes.
Haynes.
Right. But
Amazing.
Did you know, though, I had done my research before your appearance and recognizing that prior to your appearance on Room 222, the first African-American lead in a television series was Diane Carroll in the show Julia.
Julia. That's
true.
And then you and Lloyd Haynes were right next to her as being a couple, African-American. Did you, on a series on national television, did you know that was the social implications that was going on?
I had not a clue.
You didn't think about that?
I didn't think about it.
No. Okay.
You know, I had been in the civil rights movement for 2 years. I was in the South from 64, 65, and 66. And then I went to New York to start the professional part of my career. But I think I was a little bit delusional. I really thought that the civil rights movement was going to, or had, changed everything. And that all the things that had gone before would be no more. And it took a while for it to sink in that there was still a lot that had to be done. Mm-hmm. So when I came into television, I came in with no ceiling. Mm-hmm. I didn't come in thinking there was something I couldn't do, because I wasn't brought up that way anyway.
Tai, the same thing.
Yeah.
When Ty's told me the same thing, everything was available to her,
Yeah.
and she worked hard at what she got.
Right,
Yeah.
right. It was about the skating,
Yeah.
Just go out and do your best.
No. And you were a first. Weren't you a first?
No, I wasn't the first. There were a few before me who haven't gotten the recognition that they deserve.
Okay.
And it'll probably take me to get that going. Mm-hmm. But Mabel Fairbanks, who was a character in the TV movie, was the first black coach.
Wow.
And she was she's the one who put Randy and I together.
Okay.
What about Bill Cosby? Where did he fit in?
You worked with Dr.
I worked
Cosby.
with him.
Yeah.
Right, but when he was on I Spy, he was the first.
He would have been, because that was before. That was before
you.
Room
But this,
Room
okay, so I
22.
was mentioning you as a couple.
Yeah.
The first
couple.
African-American couple.
Well, you
on
didn't
primetime.
see too many black people kissing on television. because we had to get
Right.
permission from ABC to kiss.
Really?
Because
Okay.
this is going to sound bizarre. This is very crazy.
Let us hear.
But we all have a little crazy in us.
Yeah.
They did not. They had an unwritten rule in Hollywood that black people could not show affection for each other on screen.
Oh my goodness.
So when we went to kiss, now that kiss was a little peck,
Right.
but we had another kiss that was a little bit more kissy, and we had to get permission from ABC to do it.
And
Unbelievable.
obviously, they gave you the green light
Yeah,
to do that. I'm glad they did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
But let's now talk about the show, well, the movie of the week, the Tai Babilonia
Yes.
story. How did
Yeah. Well, fast forward 2 decades. It's just it's so bizarre. Anyway, my question to you was, because you'd never met my mother,
No.
and there's no footage of my mother, on anything. So how did, because you pretty much, you had her down.
Good.
How did you did, Denise?
Well, you didn't help her in any way of telling about
I
your-
don't think you know.
No?
I don't know who you got your info from, but you had her down.
Good.
Yeah,
I'm
you had the
glad.
intenseness.
I
and
mean, I hope that's good.
Yeah, no, my mom was impressed.
Oh, good.
My mom was impressed.
Okay,
So,
okay. This
but
is
there were
good.
some scenes where I couldn't, because I was there the whole time because I was the double for myself.
Mm-hmm.
There were 3 ties who didn't skate, so I doubled for the older 2 ties.
Mm-hmm.
But some scenes you had with my brother Michael,
Mm-hmm.
and my dad. I forget the actor's name who played my father.
Yeah.
It was intense.
Okay,
And
well,
what? You have a clip.
We've got a clip, so I want
Yeah.
people to see this, so
Yes.
they know what
Okay.
we're talking about. So let's watch. Let's watch Denise in the
Okay.
Tai
I'll be
Babilonia
quiet.
story. Let's watch.
I just like being with him.
It's not a good time to get involved, Tai.
Why not? We're not going to Worlds.
No, but you are going professional.
There's a lot at stake. Too much to complicate things with that kind of attachment.
I love him, Mom. I'm almost 20 years old, you know? I mean, it'd be nice to have just a little time off, you know?
You're talking big amounts of money, Ty. Really big.
I know.
Big enough to keep you and the whole Heartbreak family, for that matter, in comfort forever. It's up to you.
You sure he's gonna like it? He's gonna love it. All right, bring them in.
You may enter the palace now.
Oh, this is great.
From me to you.
It's big.
Very good. You know what? Denise Nicholas is our guest. If you're just joining us, Tai, let me just ask you very quickly.
Okay.
What was it like having Denise playing your mother, though? When you
It was-
found
it was
out,
surreal.
but when you found out that she was going to be the one playing your
Well,
mother.
it's just it didn't hit me until it was all over. You know, when I was there, I really had to focus on them getting, as much right as they could. In how long is a TV movie? I don't even know, but it's your whole life crammed into a very
an hour and a half.
right
Was
short
it a
amount of time.
difficult role for you to play her mother? Was it a difficult role? No? Okay. Well, now about the role of, let's segue into the role of author, writer.
Oh, right.
I want
there's the
people
book.
to know, this critically acclaimed, as I mentioned in the intro, this book, Freshwater Road, let's show it.
Your
And
first book, yes.
It's your first book. And the Washington Post said that it was, I think it was Washington Post, right? The top 10 books of 2005?
It was-
Congratulations, yes.
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
Great.
Let's talk about the book. I know that one of our audience members was saying that she had difficulties finding it, but you
Yes.
can find it where?
You can get it at Amazon.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. Now, the hardback came out in 2005, and that edition, the paperback edition, came out in 2006, 2007. Then I went on the road for 3 years promoting it.
Well, talk about the book a little bit so
Well,
people get an idea.
it's
what it
really
is.
loosely based on the experiences I had in the South during the Civil Rights Movement, although it is not my experience, because I was an actress, a young actress, working as an apprentice in a theater that was a part of the movement. The character in the book is a young woman who goes to Mississippi and Louisiana to do voter registration. So she stays in one little town, Pineyville, on one street, Freshwater Road, with an older black woman, and that's her home for the summer. So she spends the entire summer trying to get the people in this particular town to go see the registrar and try to register to vote.
Seems like a movie deal.
Let's hope so.
Oh my gosh!
Like this.
Hello. And now you're working on your next.
I'm working on a second book.
Second book.
Yeah.
Well, you mentioned early in the show that you were really gearing yourself towards writing early on.
Yeah.
But it took you said, a while to get to that point.
Yes.
Along the training, what did you do to become a writer? Did you train in certain areas?
I did. The first thing I did was I pitched some story ideas to Carroll O'Connor while I was doing In the Heat of the Night. And the first one that I pitched to him, he bought. Well, I was so shocked that he bought it. I was just standing there with my jaw dropped, you know. And I said, well, who's going to write it? Because he was basically buying the idea.
Right.
And he said, you are. And I said, but I don't know how. And I said, I want to, but I don't know how. And he said, I'll teach you. So he mentored me for the entire 5 years I was on that show. I wrote 7 scripts for him.
Really? What was it like working with Carroll?
It was wonderful. It was wonderful.
What a great actor.
Yeah, I loved him.
Yes.
He was generous, he was kind, extremely smart, very political, very much a Renaissance man. Just about the antithesis of Archie Bunker.
Right.
But I mean, I think he had a little of that in him too.
Really?
But he was just very embracing and very inclusive.
It's amazing though with Carroll O'Connor, because he was typecast to a certain degree, but he was such a fantastic actor that he was able to get out of that typecast and do the things that he did.
Exactly. Amazing. So any more acting? I mean, if someone offered you a role that you couldn't turn down, would you?
I'd consider it.
Yeah.
I would
we
consider
miss you.
Thank you.
I'm
not sure that industry misses me.
Yes.
Those eyes. You can see it on Room 222, and I see it right here. I'm 3 feet away.
So classy. We miss the class.
Thank you.
Denise, we do. You're welcome.
Exactly. So in terms of writing, you were mentioning that you're thinking about doing some other things.
Yeah.
Are they in your mind, or are you actually
Well, there's a second book that started. I'm not working at the rate I did when I was working on that book, because I was so intent upon getting that book done and getting it done on a level that I could appreciate, because I knew that I was starting that part of my career late, and I wanted to do, I wanted to write a book that would stand in case I didn't have the energy to write another one. So
that's smart.
And this was it?
Because I started late, you know, and I thought, okay. So that book, I worked with Janet Fitch, who wrote a book called White Oleander. She was my primary writing teacher for 5 years.
But I wonder, here you write a book and it's critically acclaimed, it's your first one. Are you nervous about writing a second one?
I think that's why I'm going so slowly.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I
understand that.
I write a paragraph and then I'll go do something else.
Well, it lends itself.
I get scared.
Which you get more enjoyment now out of, writing or actually acting when you think back? Now this is like in the past, because you've already written this, you're acting, Room 222, and is in the past. Which do you like? Which do you like going back to?
That acting for me at the time that I went into it, it's, I was kind of a loner. I was a child who read a lot. I stayed a lot to myself. So going into acting, which is totally group collaboration, was, for me, it was great, because it brought me out. It forced me to develop a personality.
I don't believe that you could be a loner.
I know, I'm trying to picture that. I cannot picture that.
There's no way.
I was a loner.
Did you get asked? Tell me you didn't. You can't tell me you didn't get asked to the prom.
I got asked to the prom.
Okay, there you go. By how
Yeah.
many? A lot of men. A lot of
I
men,
sang at the
though.
prom.
Oh, hello. Double duty.
Oh, great.
Oh, my
Why,
gosh.
you know, I always ask this of the guests. We only have less than a minute. Is this your first time in Santa Barbara? Was this your first time visiting in Santa Barbara?
no.
You've been here before?
Oh, if I had money, I'd live here.
Oh, come on.
Beautiful.
Well,
It's just so beautiful up here. I
lovely.
love coming here.
Me too.
I appreciate coming here to do this
Well,
and to see you. And
Yay.
we are so
lovely.
appreciative that you came and visited from your
you.
busy writing schedule now to
Right.
come and join us. And we thank you so very much for being with us. It's
Thank
gone
you.
by
Thank
too
you.
quickly.
I know,
So fast.
Always. Thank you, Denise.
Thank you.
Thank
I
you.
love it.
Well, thank you so very much. God, I'm saying this over and over again.
What?
This woman doesn't age.
I know. It's
my God.
flawless. It's
Just-
flawless.
It's flawless.
I'll
It
tell
is.
Mom. Mom's 93 and going strong.
There you go.
Well, yeah, great genes.
Great genes.
All right. Wow.
Thank you.
Thank you. Wow. Thank you so much. Well, that's it for another edition of Ken Boxer Live. So don't miss our next show when Tai and I welcome pop singer and Broadway and motion picture and television actor Rex Smith on this stage. This will be a show you will not want to miss. Okay, so for our guests, Denise Nicholas and Tai Babilonia, and for our entire crew, and George Montalvo, our director, I'm Ken Boxer saying good night, everybody. Thank you.
Ken Boxer Live is brought to you by the following sponsors. Sterling Properties of Santa Barbara, hometown feel, world-class service. American Riviera Bank, smart banking for smart people. Palazzio Restaurant, where people don't leave hungry or thirsty. The Wildcat Lounge, repeatedly voted Santa Barbara's best dance club. Harborview Inn, welcome to Santa Barbara's premier 4-diamond luxury boutique oceanfront hotel. Wendy Foster, Santa Barbara and Montecito's premier clothing store. The Eagle Inn, a family-owned hotel near the beach in Santa Barbara. Via Rosa Inn, let us pamper you in international style. La Quinta Inn and Suites, conveniently located in downtown Santa Barbara. And by Taffy's Pizza, delivery, pickup, or dine in. Woody's Bodacious Barbecue, voted best barbecue in Santa Barbara for over 30 years. Santa Barbara Chicken Ranch, authentic Mexican style, mesquite barbecue. Santa Barbara Bar, finally, nutritious tastes great. Country Catering, Meat Market, and Deli. Their food not only fills your plate, it nourishes the soul. Jack's Bagels and Bistro, serving the very best food in a friendly and relaxed atmosphere. Quality food and genuine drinks. Jill's Place, where the locals go to eat. Sammy's Camera, new location at 530 State Street. Perfect Computers since 1990. The Ken Boxer Live musical theme by Mr. Michael J. Leslie. From all of us at Ken Boxer Live, I'm Baron Ron Heron. Good night, everyone.